Born in Tonopah, Nevada. 2,500 people lived there. No TVs, no fancy kind of things. As kids, we spent our time walking and running and dealing with nature. I finally left Tonopah and went to San Francisco College for Women. Miss Tonopah learned a great deal because the college was run by Catholic nuns who had gotten their PhD degrees and were really well educated about most everything. I went to UNR, had a wonderful time. You could not run for president of UNR, that was only a boy job, but you could be president for the women's. I ran and I won, but it was very important to me even then about women's issues, which is why I did that. I was waking up to women's losses and gains. But then I decided law school was really where I wanted to go. Went back to Washington, D.C. Was admitted to Georgetown University. I was one woman among 250 men. Wow. It was not fun. I kind of liked the law part, but even then I found out a shocking thing, which was when I was called upon, I did know the answer to a question, but I was afraid to say it out loud to 250 guys. I studied hard, I was doing fine, but I didn't want to be a lawyer. So in about that time, I was dating Bill Thornton, who was from Nevada, and we decided to get married. I went back to the university because one of my professors told me I'd be a good teacher. So I went back, got a master's, had a baby, finished my master's, had another baby, and then by that time we are really having the women's revolution, even in Reno, Nevada. We had a wonderful woman in Nevada who was 91 years old, and she ended up going to the Historical Society and doing research. She was a role model because here she is, 91, doing research. That's what I thought I wanted to do and why I decided I wanted to be a professor. I was hired by the university to be a professor in a department we were calling health sciences. I noticed that I was only, when they'd raise their hand, calling on the men. It fascinated me, and of course I corrected as soon as I knew, but just the habit. Men talk louder, they are there. Women have to learn to do those things. To do that, you have to have female mentors, role models, and at the university was very bleak of role models. Women weren't encouraged to go to medical school. We were able to give them communication techniques. Women's issues always came up then because women were beginning to become alive, knowing that they could do things. We got a huge grant to have this center to work particularly on death and dying and other healthcare issues. And we ran it throughout the state. It was magnificently successful. Hospitals loved us. I was chosen to be the distinguished professor. I was very grateful because I was treated very well for someone who opened her mouth a lot. The first message I'd have for everyone, women and men, is just to be curious and be thoughtful. And to learn how to communicate so that you're not angry, you can deliver your message. For men and women, I think that's so important. For all of us, when we're trying to make the community better, it's the kind of thing we need to be talking about today.